Right. You know what, Mac? I want to talk about this this current Celtic team. You know, they've been banged up, so you know, I don't feel like everyone's seen their potential of what they can be. Al Horford was out with a concussion, but if you know anything about him, he's great at facilitating the ball. He's great at he's perfected his three-point shot, so that makes him an outside effect. I thought in Atlanta, he was kind of the face, if not the person who was facilitating, making one of the pieces that made that whole thing go. Now he's into this system. Olenek coming in, he's been hurt, he's coming off. I mean, I like this team. No, you don't hear too much of them. I'm thinking just because they were hurt early, but the potential of what this team can be and all the pieces that make this team up, just talk a little bit, you know, obviously I'm talking about the post. Go into a little bit about Smart and Avery Bradley and all the pieces they got, man.
I like those guys. You know, I think that they're a team that's just now starting to hit stride. They've been hurt, like you said. They haven't been playing great ball, but they're starting to play good ball now. Their best ball is going to be the January, February, March, when you really want to be playing well. That's when you want to be healthy. That's when you want to catch your rhythm.
That's when they're going to be
And the thing I like about him, like Jay Crowder's a tough guy.
Tough.
Smart is going to get up into you. Bradley plays defense, gets all over. The young kid Brown they got, I like him. He's a tough kid. You know, and so those guys can get up into you. They can push you around a little bit. They're not going to back up. The Celtics are playing their best, like you said, when Horford is able to get them. Because I don't think any of those guys are great one-on-one players. But you know, you get ball comes back to Horford. He does a little DHO, or he passes to you, sets the screen, or he hits you when a quick reverse. They can attack closeouts. They attack all those little areas that. They're so good at just a closeout, you know, a rotation, a scramble defense. That's when they're good. Right. And you got to get them, you know, when the Celtics move the ball and get the defense scrambling, they're good. And you know who else they got to finish?
Finish it all, right?
Yep.
Mr. Isaiah Thomas himself, right? The king, and I like to think the heartbeat of this whole team.
Yeah.
You know, his makeup and how he goes and what you know about him. It's kind of the makeup of this team. They're a gutty, gritty, uncomfortable, in your jersey, 48-minute team. I like this team, and this is one of the most scary teams that no one's talking about.
Like you said, they're tough. They'll take a hit to get a basket. They'll go in there, you knock them down, they get back up, they come again. And I like this team.
Sacramento versus Boston. And, you know, you always hear stories about KG talking and trash talking. And one time he said a few picks, and I was getting upset because they weren't calling the illegal screen. And I said something to him, and he barked right back. Said, "Shut your little midget bleep up." And then I kind of laughed because I'm like, well, there you go. I was in one of those scenarios where he's talking trash, but one day he came up to me and told me he respected how I play, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
That kid's hard. Listen.
Yeah. So you told him to shut the bleep up?
Listen.
Where's that cuss button?
Real talk, man. I had to recognize real. You know, first off, you know, I don't set illegal picks. All my picks are legal. That's first off. Secondly, I just had to give it up to him. I had a chance to, you know, I don't mingle a lot. I don't fraternize, you know, especially with competition. But, you know, I seen him and I just recognized real. I told him, hey, man, I love the way you play. I love your heart and I love your grit. You know, he has a kind of an old school feel about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he has
absolutely.
an old school feel about himself. He plays the game with grit and kahunas, and he just plays. Yeah. I love the way he plays, man. He is the epitome of what NBA basketball is about.
And that's why I always loved being around you and what you did. I always remember your first exhibition game. You had practiced so hard, you were so tired, you had nothing left in the tank. You weighed about 195 pounds, maybe. Remember how skinny you were?
Oh my
God.
God.
And you got into it in your first game with like 3 or 4 different guys on the floor, and I was just laughing. I'm like, this dude's so excited. You were so exhausted. You were so tired. I honestly thought we shouldn't even play him in the first exhibition game because you got nothing left. But the popcorn started popping. You were John. You were getting in it with people, and I was in the fan. I tell you, I was laughing. I said, "Oh, my little young boy likes when the lights come on."
I love it, man. That's old school basketball. Shout to Isaiah. Shout to the C's, man. Shout to everybody over there, man. That's old school basketball, right? I love it. We in here, yeah. Old school, talking about throwing it back, yeah.